a do-over there. Wasn't quite prepared the first time. Sorry about that. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Sunday night. Whoopee. Hold on a minute. Let me fix my camera here. Hey, Jay, how are you? Ann, how's it going? Kathy, Heather, how's everyone doing? Laura, Nicole, hello. Susan, Sunday night. How's everyone doing? We're tired. Another busy week. Next week's going to be another busy week as well. Hello, Teresa. How's everybody doing? Hello from South Jersey. And wow, you're all the way. We were actually out that way today, believe it or not. Hey, Karen, how are you? Yeah, we were out there picking, looking at the antique stores that we like to go look at. We went to Burlington.
Yeah.
A couple of big picking places. Hello, Cheryl. Okay, how you doing?
Had a good time. Had a really good time.
So, hello, David. So, Chris is going to post a link. Problems with my eye.
Which I did.
I'll do it again. Post it again. Hello, Cindy, Robin, Kat. How are you? So, anything you guys want to talk about? Any subjects? Any stories?
I know that there were two people that were waiting to do it the last time that we were on, but we didn't. It wasn't an opportunity for them to do it. I know there was Terry and there was someone else that were waiting to come on and
John McGinnis
and wanted to talk to us about stuff. But
Dominique.
So that is up there, and I'll keep posting that link for anyone who wants to share a story or an experience.
So yeah, anything you guys want to talk about, questions, if you're willing to come on and share an experience you had, paranormal related. You lived in a haunted building, something happened somewhere along the way, other experiences you had. If you're willing to come on and talk to us and share them here on screen, you click that link, you follow the instructions, you allow the use of your mic and your camera, and voila, through the magic of the internet, you will be on half of that screen with us, believe it or not, without actually being in the room with us. I know, sounds crazy, but it can happen. Anyway, we are, Chris, your hair looks nice.
Well, thaink you.
Oh, my hair.
I appreciate that.
See my hair without the hat. Look, maybe this is better. What's that? Those beautiful locks. No? That's it?
Your hair looks great.
Thank you. I know. Anyway, so we are going back to the Creeper Gallery on maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. Tuesday, we're definitely going. Yeah, that's the day we're going. We have to go there, and we got to film with Armand, the median, who works with Donna and the Creeper Gallery. We've known Armand for years now, and Armand, I'm going to film Armand doing as many readings as he can in like 2 hours, and then we're going to investigate those objects that he read. 2 or 3 of them, somebody's on already.
Ooh.
Who is on already? Hold on, caller. I thought that's okay. Oh, didn't get you. Hold on. There we go. Get to this.
Hi, my name's Robin.
Let me
change. No, Robin, he's going to set up the screen so we can see you better.
There you are.
Hi, how are you? Hi, I'm Robin. It's nice to meet everybody. I've never been on before. I have been to your page. I've seen a lot of your things, and I love it. So I just wanted to share maybe Robin, a little really story.
Quick. Robin, really quick. You like me more than her, right?
What?
You like me better than her, right? Just so we have that.
You can say yes.
Okay,
you can say yes. Not a problem.
You can stay on.
Oh, okay. So I like you both the same. Is that okay too?
Hold on. We're having a technical problem.
He's being funny.
So I wanted to share a little bit about like my family, myself. So I had an experience when I was really little. Maybe it started when I was like 4 years old. My great uncle had passed away and I did not know it. And the night he passed, he had visited me in my bedroom. Like in my living room, my house. And he kind of sat on the edge of my bed. I was always afraid of the dark, and he was just like, "It's okay. You can go to sleep now."
Did he appear as a full? Did he look like
He
regular
looked like
full body?
himself. He looked like a person.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked like a person. Now fast forward like quite a few years later, my grandmother, my son's great grandma, passed away.
Okay.
And my son is autistic. He is pretty much at the time was nonverbal, so he didn't have much speech or anything. And he was in therapy with his EI counselor, which is like an early intervention. He must have been about a little over 2 years old, and he looked dead out the window and was like, "Great grandma's here." Said the full statement. We would not repeat it, but said it. And then just kept on playing, like, and whatever.
Wow.
And we were like, wow. That was like maybe a few days after she had passed. So
yeah, but what's even all right, let's just take the fact that a spirit of a loved one appeared. But anyone that knows or understands and those that don't, someone who is autistic and not verbal and can't communicate, that's a whole nother level of.
Right.
Wow.
And just the fact that he said it, and it was so clear. And we were like, "Can you say that again?" And it was like he could not. It was like gone. But it was just in that moment. And in the fact that he said, "Great grandma is here." Wow. Just like touched me so nicely, because I'm like, oh, she's at peace. She's around us, she's with us here. And I think that's just something, great to experience. I just remember, like I said, as a little kid, the same thing similar to happening to me. And
weird. That is bizarre. Yeah, so go back to your uncle. This was after he had passed, or how did he pass?
He must have been passing that night. I don't really recall too much. I just remember the next day or so seeing my.
Oh, you got hung up there, Robin.
Hopefully she'll there she
goes. I'm here. Are you here?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. I remember my mom.
I think it has to do with the internet connection on her end.
Glitchy.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll just wait and see. I mean, it's there she is.
Oh, sorry.
I think
me?
Someone's stopping us from telling the story, Robin.
Yeah, I think so.
See, if you had said you like me better, we would have no issues here.
She did say, she said sure.
No, she said both of us.
Oh,
and that's when everything. That's when I felt the energy change and everything started.
Right. So literally, I was saying that I had seen my mom the next day. She was crying because her uncle passed, who was my great uncle. So, and she was like, "Oh, Robin, great uncle Tom passed," and I said, "No, he was here last night." And she's like, "What? No, you must have been dreaming. Like he wasn't here." And she.
What did he say to you again? You said he spoke to you, right?
Yeah, not to
be afraid of the dark, pretty much, right?
Oh, that's
wow.
weird.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an experience or anything before that you even know?
No.
It was just one of those.
Right. No, it was just that one time, and I was like really young. That was the first time, something strange happened to me like that. But as I got older, some other things over time, I've had other experiences too, but not like that. Not like where I saw a full, apparition of a person or.
And then your son.
Or anything like that. And then my son must have too. Yeah.
God, because that is though. But this is the type of thing I'm talking about. People sharing. I mean, this is like
this is where we all can like tie that.
And not a terrible, scary. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it was not scary. No, definitely not.
But that goes back to what we always talk about, Robin. What is that when you have a personal experience like that? And it doesn't really matter how old you are, as long as you can remember it and articulate it. That impacts you for your whole entire life. You never forget that.
Right, exactly. Like I'll never forget it because I just remember so clearly telling my mom, "No, he was here last night." Like, and to me, he seemed like he was real. So.
And how old do you think you were when that
happened? 4.
Yeah. And how old was your son? You said
he was about 2, a little over 2.
Okay.
And autistic, a nonverbal
Yeah.
autistic. That in
Yeah.
itself is like remarkable.
Well,
Right.
thank you for sharing, Robin. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching us.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for letting me on.
I love it when we get to see and put a face to the people that we get to see on here that respond.
That up there again.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so great of Robin to share. See how painless that is? It's just, again, sharing with the group about, and I know most of you guys have had experiences because I do see a lot of the comments and everything like that. And it really is harmless sharing with everyone in the group. It's just, we're all interested in this. We do this. You guys may have had the experiences, and I understand being a little apprehensive, but I mean, people here are just real supportive and just sharing. We are again, going back to the Creeper Gallery, we're going to be going there Tuesday early, filming with Armand. He's going to be doing readings of as many objects as he can in 2 hours, and then we're probably going to go out and get something to eat, of course, and then we're going to start investigating later when it gets dark. And now it's getting darker later, so 7:30 ish probably. But we did that once. We had a really cool time doing it, so I'm interested in seeing again, comparing what Armand got compared to
what our investigation shows.
Yeah, and I might not be able to pull it all together on that night because I do want to clip and be able to show Armand's reading prior to us investigating. So that I'll probably film Armand that day, but then what you'll actually see the combination the following week when we go back there, because I can't edit everything within an hour or two and put it back together.
That's kind of difficult.
It's coming up. It'll be cool though when we do that. And again, taking the week off from the Creeper Gallery and doing the Baron thing, that was, we went from doing the Baron Art Center. That was
surprising.
Again, on a whim. We were just contacted and they were like, hey, come here and do this treasures of Woodbridge thing before it goes away. And we went and did that. And then we had Dominique, interview, and it was just amazing. Like, and then we had an event Friday. We'll get to all that in a minute. Thanks for letting me share my sending out. Oh, good.
That's amazing to hear, Robin, and we thank you so much for having the courage to share that.
Well, the Baron thing, was kind of strange because we said this during the prior to the investigation. Chris and I were like, we had no idea how many objects there were.
Oh, it was overwhelming.
We thought it was going to be a one case in the corner of the gallery, and we walked in there and it was like a big giant U, like almost a rectangle, and we were like, how are we going to investigate 100 objects in 2 hours?
It was challenging to
Dana. So we blanketed the area, and we were like,
who wants to speak to us, basically?
Anybody?
Who wants to, let us know, and we'll come to you, we just like that. It was interesting how that all.
John Barron.
Oh my God, he came forward and he ended the night for us. I mean, he just let himself
started and ended it.
Yeah, he let us know he was there.
Definitely really cool though. It was
Dana.
Why are the investigations always at night? Lights out. Jean, that's how you say her name, right? Is it Jean? Jean. The reason paranormal people investigate at night is because that's when the contamination is a lot less at night, unless of course you're investigating where there's a pool party or a nightclub or people all around the building. Things are quiet at night. Things are settled at night. You're much more apt to get a voice on a recorder or something when it's quiet and calm in the building. Plus, when you're using night vision cameras, you could see shadow figures and balls of light a lot better with IR than during the day. You won't really catch those things. It's kind of too fast, and the light from outside would kind of play tricks on you. You wouldn't see a true shadow. Jay said something. I couldn't see it though.
He said about, is anybody noticing 1111 more?
I see it all the time.
It's like it seems to be more prevalent now than what it was. He said it wasn't basically it was just him putting it out there to see if everybody's noticed that.
No, I see it all. I see it every day, pretty much. but again, different at the Baron. We thought that was going to be a total, hey, Taryn, we thought that was going to be a total nothing, honestly. We really did. We no, shows being canceled or has nothing to do with the expo. No, we contract the people. We don't contract the show. One has nothing to do with the other.
They'll all be there. The people that are contracted they'll all be there. There's no one that's canceled or none of that. Yeah.
But anyway, so we thought that was going to be like a big fat nothing, and we were surprised because there's going to be a big fat nothing every now and then. Colette, how are you, my friend? And
they are. You're right, Taryn.
And it turned out to be pretty good. Again, I don't know if I go back in there and do that again with 100 objects, but for that one time, it was pretty cool.
I'm going to be honest. I dealt with a dark haunting and growing up and stuff. And the time hour of 3 a.m., I know there's so much belief behind it. I know Hollywood has made a big thing out of it. When the witching hour happened for me, whatever it was, whenever, 24/7, either day, night, whenever it happened to happen. It's when it could isolate me, when it could make me feel the lowest and scare me the most. It didn't matter what time it was. I mean, it would be interesting from someone else's perspective if they had that same experience, but I personally don't believe in the 3 a.m. witching hour from my experience. Do you have anything on that one?
No, I don't think it matters either. I mean, like you said, that's a Hollywood type of thing, I think. And the other thing, because mocking the Trinity, but again, that's if you believe in the Bible and all that other, you'd have to be real religious to kind of believe in that stuff. So I don't put a lot of weight in that. But anyway, then we went to with Dom. We interviewed Dominique, and Colette's at work again.
Yep.
Then we interviewed Dominique, and that was we went into that one knowing it was going to be rough. You cannot talk about someone who does what she does and not have it be a rough subject. So we literally planned that interview out to where, okay, let's talk about mediumship. Let's talk about the bones. Yeah, we talked about the bones.
We'll talk about the other one last.
And then we're like, we're gonna save the rest for last because the death doula, because we knew it was gonna
but for full disclosure, John did not expect it to affect him the way it affected him either. I think that's where everybody, the synergy of that was so honest and so open that it affected a lot of people the same way. A lot.
Yeah. And again, it was one of those, even after we were finished doing that, I give Dominique all the credit in the world for coming on and being honest and forthright. And
she shied away from nothing.
I wasn't going to, we do this stuff. I'm not going to, if the skeptic in me is, if a question pops into my brain that doesn't make sense to me, I'm going to throw it out there. And, there are people that take offense to that and would be like, hey, you know what, why is this person attacking me? But I'm not attacking them. I'm saying from my point, I don't know, not just the death doula thing. I don't know if it's one particular subject. I don't know what you do. I don't know how you do it. Explain it to me. The Bigfoot research stuff, same thing. Explain it to me to make me understand and give me a better idea of all this stuff. And the death doula thing, I looked up the definition and I thought, wow, okay, this is something very unique and something very that people don't talk about. And we all should talk about it because, up to the point of my life, I'll be really honest with you. Death hadn't affected me in my life till I was really 50. Honestly, I never lost anybody close to me. I had been to cousins, aunts, uncles, workers, parents, people that I worked with that I wasn't really close with, their wakes and their, funeral, but never, ever, ever anyone, because my family was small. It was my mom, my 3 siblings. That's my whole life. That was my family. We didn't have any outside family. So somebody close, uh, nobody was closer to me than my mom. So I knew getting into that subject, if we got around to certain aspects, it was going to affect me. And when that image of that, what I said, recalled in my brain, I actually, it put you in that moment. I was in that moment.
Oh yeah.
And it hit me like a ton of bricks, because I will never, ever forget that moment as long as I lived.
I think that conversation actually stripped us down. Like, it just took away all of the barriers for that open discussion. I think that's what happened, that we all just, our guards were dropped, and it's the way, but that's what it needs to be. Yeah. And again, to find out the different options, I'm going to be really honest. I'm looking forward to her coming, because she's actually in the midst of doing 2 books about the whole process and death and the grieving process and stuff. And she actually reached out to us after the show was over and said, do you mind when I complete these books if I bring them and showcase them at the expo? And I'm like, absolutely. I can't wait for it. I'm going to be one of the first ones to get a book and have her autograph it.
But that's the part, again, people, and Adam was great with this too. Yeah. Adam talking about his book. You can't talk about the paranormal without talking about death. It's just, it's impossible. And yes, did we want to talk about, the shadow figure that we saw in the building, the great EVP we got of a child when we were asking questions, and all these things that happen, during the course of an investigation. Yeah. We do. Yeah. It's great to talk about that stuff. It's the thrill. It's the exciting part of the paranormal. But if you're really going to dive deep into the paranormal, you have to talk about death. And it doesn't all need to be tears and crying and sad and, loss. It can be positive teaching.
What do they call
moments.
It? The positive death movement.
Yeah, but that's why it can be positive, and it can be healing and therapeutic as well, because it is all part of, when we go in to help, and I'm going to tell this story really quick here because I've told it before. When we go in to help certain people, there are people that believe that they're being not haunted, but being visited, that their loved one is still around in some way, shape, or form, and they're trying to figure out why. Why would they still be here? Why haven't they moved on? And I'm sure people go to mediums for that reason too, to find out if they're wherever they're going to go. This is really, really quick, because I told this story before. Dear friend of ours. Now, we've known her for years, and her husband, I won't mention their names, contacted us at a private level because this person thought that their father was still in the home. And this woman and her husband and her family moved into her parents. They moved out of their house in with their parents because her father had a massive stroke and they needed help. So she put her life on hold, moved in with her father, took care of him every day for 3 years.
Yeah.
And her father passed. And after her father passed, she became severely depressed. Wouldn't leave the house, wouldn't hang around with friends, kind of distant to her family, because, and she believed he was there. She was seeing things, she was hearing things. So we went in there and we investigated first. First, of course, we talked to her and counseled her. And then we investigated, because and believe it or not, we did find actual documented proof that he was still around. And it wasn't negative. It wasn't anything like that. It was just him being him, and only she would have recognized the things that she heard his voice and said, that's him. So anyway, after figuring out that he was here and there, and then it was, how do we make her feel better? And how do we make him feel better? The logical explanation was he was still there because he was worried about her. The state that she was in was just not healthy. And she was...
Just to give you an idea, I literally flew back. We met them on Saturday. I flew back on Friday from my mother's passing. My mom had just passed, and we met with them on Saturday. And her pain was, and her father had passed 5 years prior, was just as fresh and new as mine was. And and that's how you could see how much she hadn't moved on and how much this debilitated her. And she's an amazing person. And once John,
well, we went there. We counseled her, and Jane was with us.
Yep.
Jane Doherty, and Jane was brilliant with her, and we all just sat with her, and
we brought in a reverend too, didn't we?
Yeah, we brought in a Reverend Love of all people.
She was amazing,
and it was again very therapeutic, and she got it. She got the fact that her father was there because he was worried about her. He was still being a father. He was still being a dad.
Yeah.
He was worried about her. He wanted her to leave the house, to go back out to dinner with her husband, to go back out with friends. And you know what? She started doing that. And what happened? She called us and said, I don't feel he's here anymore.
No.
I mean, brilliant.
She's an amazing person. And that was all the way back in 2014.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
It was a while ago, but it's just one of those unique things. And we always joke when we talk to each other, which we do because I love her to death. We'll always have a bond because of we shared together and we healed together. And it was just like, that's like what John says. It's like, you never know what holds people back and why, and what that whole thing was. And we did find that he was there because he was worried about her, that he wanted her to be okay.
But that was, again, part of the other side of the paranormal is the counseling.
Yeah.
We talk about that not only on the grieving side of it, but also on the post-traumatic stress side of it, going through a traumatic haunting, like Deanna Simpson, like what you went through, like others go through. It affects you long term. And again,
there's psychological scars that stay there.
You've got to get people to get past that and to live life and to grow and
but the funny thing is you go back further, and like the time period when I was going through that, people in my age bracket, if you were to go to a counselor or a therapist or psychologist and you make any of the comments about a haunting, about the stuff going on and hearing voices, whatever, things moving, they would diagnose you as being mentally ill, and they put a label on it, and then you'd either be on meds or you'd be locked up. Because I just went through counseling last year, and we had an open conversation about this stuff, and she came right out and said, she goes, today we can have open conversations about that. Before, you'd have been locked up if we'd have talked about any of this stuff.
So Chris is going to post the link again. Again, if there's any experiences that you guys have had that you want to share, Robin, thank you for sharing yours. You can come on as easy as Robin did. There's the link right there. You just click the link, hit allow for your camera and your microphone, and you can come on. You can share your experiences or any questions you want to ask. But again, the Dominique thing was a surprise as far as I think back at all the discussions that we've had through the years. And, this sort of thing has happened for us with the cable access show that we did many moons ago. We just really liked talking to people and learning about them and bringing different subjects, different, even like animal communicators, I think is like the most crazy thing in the world for me. Again, I'll tell you if I think it's nuts. I think animal communicators, it's nuts. I think that spirit guides, the whole calling in upon our Archangel Michael to fight and deal with, I think that's nuts in my opinion. But I listen, I try to learn, I try to take what I can from it. But there are conversations you remember. Dominique is one I'll always remember. But it was, again, for me, it was cool how it came off the heels of the Adam conversation, because Adam really wanted to dig deep and get into the, not just the ghost hunting thrill thing. He wanted to look, man, let's talk about theory. Let's talk about grief. Let's talk about, right in. Let's really get to the what this is all about. I'm a big animal lover. I love my dogs. Yeah, oh, believe me, Laura, I've had dogs my whole entire life since I can remember, and they've been family. I would never refer to a dog as a pet. My dogs have been, and believe me, I am just as devastated when I've lost a pet, as I have.
Having said that connection, that love, that passion, that, I mean, I've had dogs through the years, and then about Shelly and stuff and how close I was, and I only had her 5 years. Why can't that same, if it's all about energy, why can't there be communication with a pet, like a spirit of
pets aren't we can't communicate with pets when they're alive. People, we can. Next question.
But in different ways, there is when
Perf.
No.
I'll have my recorder.
But now you're being mocking. But okay, when you're with Walter, when Walter's hungry, when Walter needs to go out,
Walter
Walter
I see Walter. I can see him.
But he communicates in a different way.
No, he does not. He looks at me. He tilts his head. He listens. It's not, there's no audio. There's no acoustic. There's nothing. Are you really asking this question?
But we don't know how human beings communicate through. They're not in a body. They can't speak.
Do we hear voices on EVP?
I can't even with
I mean, come on now.
Can't even. We had birds that came on an EVP, remember? We had the sound of a pig that came on an EVP when we were talking about a child. Why? I'm just opening the door for a discussion.
Yeah.
Why isn't it a
Please, somebody else come on. Please, anybody. I don't care.
He doesn't like
if you want to talk about what you watched on TV.
I'm pushing back on
If you want to talk about what you watched on TV last night, I'd be happy to talk about that.
I'm just pushing back on you because that one communicator actually, when we were off camera, said something to someone we know with a pet that was that he just about fell out of his chair.
That's not true, but anyway. Animals tend to be silent. They are more residual. Yes, thank you. I've seen animals on thermals and on SLS, on things of that nature. I have yet to get.
Ruh-roh.
I am Spot the dog on EVP. If you could hear me, Master, could I speak to my master, please? No, I've yet to get that on an EVP. But when I do, I will say for sure that everything she is saying is real and true.
You don't know. You don't know?
Yeah, Rut-row is right.
I said that Rut-row. That was funny. Listen, if you haven't known, John and I do think differently, and sometimes I'll challenge and whatever because and it's always just being devil's advocate. May not believe that I believe it, but let's push the envelope of the different interpretations of what we believe. A spirit isn't a body, doesn't have vocal cords, how are they able to communicate?
I'm saying
what?
Cats can make meow sounds. Dogs can make bark.
Yeah.
I'm saying you cannot openly communicate with them. I'm saying like you could with a person. That's the difference between, yes, I'm saying if a cat was here, if I could say, here, kitty, are you here? And hear meow on the recorder, you're not communicating with them. You're hearing.
So if we can't communicate with them and they can't communicate with us, how do they get trained? How do we train them?
Oh, we talk to them and they talk back? Is that what you're saying? Maybe they do to you. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I learn every day about you and what
how my brain functions. Yes.
No, but the animal communicators. I mean, it's just again, some mediums are very vague and the things that they say regarding loved ones, and animal communicators, I think, are even, even more vague.
That's a unique concept, Donna. That through pictures and gestures.
Exactly. Thank you, Patricia.
How about those Mets?
I don't like the Mets. I'm a Yankee fan, so even that doesn't work. I get closure because he passed in the vets table for some reason every year around the anniversary. I feel like, yeah. I mean, again, that's a form of connection.
Yeah.
But he's not coming in your dreams going, Heather, it's me, Spot. I really miss you. He's not talking. You're not communicating in your dreams.
I every once in a while I get an impression on my bed because Shelly always she would only go to sleep if she was touching some part of me. So sometimes that happens and that just brings me comfort, makes me feel good.
Anyway, put the link back up, please.
Again? Sure. There you go.
Yeah, please again. Please.
I'm getting to them, people.
Get me out of this. So the link is there. Anybody wants to talk about anything but animal communication, please do so. Any experiences or anything or any questions? The other thing that we have coming up that I am before I get to that, I'll talk about the Friday night. Now we're not used to Friday night paranormal events because all of our events are on Saturdays. excuse me. So when you get a Friday night event, totally thrown off because Saturday feels like Sunday, and then you're just. I actually our garbage goes out on Sundays. I went out Saturday morning and I took the garbage out because we had an event on Friday, and I'm thinking that because I was so mixed up. But we actually, our third event with the Girl Scouts, and it seems to be a very popular thing because I think I'm going to be hearing from every Girl Scout from here to California. I'll tell the story real quick again. I posted on the page there. Somebody reached out to me from the Girl Scouts director, and she said they had booked another group for an event. They had already rented the college that they were,
they were already committed.
Centenary College. They had already rented. They already paid their money, and this other group just, no pun intended, ghosted them and wasn't responding to any messages or anything. So they said to me, would you guys be interested in doing that? And I'd never been to the college. I had no idea where it was. So, what was that? I was there Friday night with the Girl Scouts. There you go. Sharon was there. Sharon, you need to come on, Sharon.
Yeah, you need to jump on that link, girl.
So anyway, that's the link right there, Sharon. If you're interested in joining us on camera, it'd be nice. You don't have to though. Don't feel like you have to. But anyway, so we committed to doing this. It was 3 different dates. This past Friday was the last date of this commitment. And going in, we didn't know what to expect because, again, all of our quote unquote ghost hunts, paranormal events are with, 18 and older, usually. Every now and then we'll get a 14-year-old here and there, but this time was all Girl Scouts between the age of 12 and 16, something like that. I got to tell you, man, I had a ball. All 3 times I had a good time because just they don't watch the ghost hunting shows. That's one thing.
I think there was only one.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah. Watch Ghost Hunters. That was the one you think would be Destination Fear. But none of them watch the ghost hunting shows. I'm sure they see things on TikTok or whatever, but they didn't know what to expect. So going in with just clean slate and be able to kind of lecture them and explain theory and equipment, and then get them out in the building and see how many of them are kind of really brave and just like, yeah, we want to do this. We want to do this. It was really, really cool. I mean, I had a good time all 3 times doing it. And I'd be happy to do it again. We talked about doing it again. I'd be happy to do it again because
I have to be really honest. I get when I try what I do, the more natural stuff, and I get a lot of questions and pushback from adults like, is this safe? Can you do this? Or a little hesitant to try something new. Those girls just jumped in full, just feet first and just, okay, what are we doing next? Okay, what we're doing now? Okay, I'll try it. Even, and everything I asked them to do was so out of their norm and their realm, and you wouldn't have known it. They were just inquisitive. The questions, the sharing, all of that. It was just, they blew me away.
And Centenary College is cool. University, sorry. It's really, really cool. That building, the admin building is cool. Awesome. Yeah. And we only use a bit of it. I mean, we're hoping to get 3 dates that we're going to announce for you guys to come. We're hoping that that's going to come through sooner than later. We've got, the one date, which is October 28th. That's a definite. Want to show them the picture?
I don't know if I can get where your camera is. I don't know your phone very well. There we go. Can you guys see that? That's where we were with the Girl Scouts. Right there.
She literally said she doesn't know my phone very well. We have
the same phone. I don't know my phone very well, so I'm being honest.
But we're hoping again to get 3 dates. We already have one for October 28th. We're hoping to get 2 more. And hopefully the first date will be within a month or 2, which would be really, really cool. But we appreciate being asked by the Girl Scouts. We had a great time.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to go back there. Wish I would have known. I don't live that. Oh, Jay lives up that way. I didn't know that.
Oh, I think he told us that before. He was close by there.
But even, it's so funny because after doing that and posting that, I saw posts from people and I got private messages from people saying that they attended the college and bless you, and that there were rumors and things that happened there all the time. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get back in there. It was so much fun. But again, we should be doing a live investigation there soon. Hopefully, you should come to Erie and go to Boy Scouts at the Well, they got to invite us. We're not just gonna kidnap a bunch of Boy Scouts and bring them to a haunted place. We can't do that. That's illegal, believe it or not, Celine. You just can't grab a bunch of Boy Scouts and go into a haunted building. I think you get arrested for that. I'm not sure. But anyway, but that's, again, the other thing that I started to bring up that I'm going to bring up. April 1st, I saw my friend Robert Bendoff on here. I have been begging and pleading with Mr. John Zaffis over and over and over and over to do an event with us for a while now. And we never were able to work it out. And then finally, January, we spoke after the new year, and he's like, all right, I'll do one. Let's look at dates. April 1st of all days, April Fool's Day. So he might not even show up. It might be like that biggest joke on me and all of us. He might not even be there.
He wouldn't do that.
But at Camp Evans, Info Age, John's going to be there. We're going to be there, the entire New Jersey Paranormal team. Robert and Sandra from Bearfort Paranormal will be there. Colin Graves will be there helping with the scrying. Danielle, Samantha will be. It's going to be a really, 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 really cool event. So if you didn't get tickets, I'm sorry that you couldn't. I mean, we kept it to a reasonable number, even though we probably could have double sold that thing in a heartbeat because people are still asking for tickets. We kept it to a reasonable number to try to give everyone the best chance at, a good experience. And John will actually kind of be ghost hunting with each group. He'll go around and spend 20 minutes with each group, ghost hunting in different areas. So I'm looking forward to that because, again, it's like not worthy to sit there and watch John do his stuff.
Heather posted that there's so many events that are going on that are sold out. Will you be announcing anything more?
No, we're retiring after the.
She just gets a hard time getting a ticket.
We are. It's not even in here. Is it? It's in the kitchen.
I'll get it for you.
Hey, God forbid if she would stand here and
because
entertain the troops while I went and got the thing. She's got to go and. Let's wait for her. It's all the way in the next room, so it'll take a while. Thank you.
He's a stinker.
Here's the list, the entire list of events. This is kind of like reading, scratching out. It's like my handy dandy notebook here. And believe it or not, I list one event at a time, but there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's about 15 more events easily
that are planned
for the rest of the year.
He's working on others.
So I just announced the next Camp Evans, which doesn't have John's office there, but Camp Evans July 1st was just announced, and the next one after that isn't until August 5th because we're going to the Battlefield Bash.
Yep. We're going to be at the bash.
Yeah. So, but there will be plenty between now and the end of the year.
Kevin.
There's going to be a bunch more. And again, if the college gives me 3 dates, I'm going to squeeze them in as well. It's funny because it's great in a way that, the events do sell out. We appreciate that they do, but we also know that other people want to attend. And, we're not going to double stack, triple stack these events and make it miserable for everyone. Why would we do that? We want the people that are there to have a good time and, and hopefully it's worth what they paid because that's important to us.
Yeah.
We're not just going to charge double and triple what everybody else charges and just stack it with people and then just take the money. And we don't even take the money. And then, hey, we got your money, you already paid. No, we care. We say that all the time. I'll be at the Hoover House in Gettysburg. The one thing about you mentioned the Hoover House, and again, this is a ways off, and this isn't even the last event that we're doing. The last event we're doing is actually December 16th, the week before Christmas. But we are planning December 2nd and whatever, I don't know, it's Friday, Saturday, but the Hoover House with Cody and Satori. Yep. We're going to be there for that's going to be our holiday get together at the Hoover House, and you guys are welcome to come to that. So when people probably, very glad that you answered that, Kevin. That's a funny story, actually. I don't have my phone, so I can't show you guys. The Paranormal Savior bobblehead. We were in Walmart, and this one just on Five Below, and this one I want to show you something. And she takes out that bobblehead and like
I bought it, and I surprised
it looks
him
like
with
you, and I put it on my dash, and I'm like, we got to paint that thing. We got to paint. It's sacrilegious. I'm sure Jesus will be mad if I paint it and put an NJP on it, but we kind of have to.
It's a product. It's not religious. I mean,
it's we gotta get someone. We gotta get someone to make those things. Oh. And it's so funny because
you should have seen his face when I gave him the box. I said, "Hey, look who I found."
That was funny. It's on my dash. I mean, that was the video of it bopping the head away. I would purchase a bobblehead. Again, believe me, we were actually thinking, and again, Teresa, you're one of the ones I really have to thank for this. We were actually thinking, so many people, and again, I'm not saying this as a negative. I'm not putting anybody down. I understand that people do different things and whatever, but, we were actually thinking about the whole equipment thing, maybe we would have some kind of support NJP thing where you guys could donate $5, $10, whatever that we could use for equipment and whatever. And, I'm sitting there wrestling because we really do need some new equipment like everybody else. And as luck would have it, I'm sitting there thinking about this and, not a great windfall, but I had a windfall where, something happened where came into a little bit of money and I could buy at least 2 pieces of new equipment. Yeah. And, they're cool. I'm going to get one tomorrow. And the other one is coming all the way from the UK somewhere, I think Australia. So that'll take a week or two. But it was great that Teresa mentioned it and that she would even consider that. And and I hear you guys saying you would do it too, but it's really rough to do that for me anyway. And then I get it because, my son's only 23 and he's always like, people on YouTube, they do these, their shows and they have super chats where people $5 and they donate throughout the whole thing. I just never been able to take people's money lightly like that and just, you know what I mean? It just, I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel clean to me.
No.
No. So, I mean, if we do anything, if we ever do anything where we're going to do our own kind of fundraising thing, it would probably be at a ghost hunt somewhere. We'll do an event where it'll at least be worth it to people to come and,
you get something for your money.
Can you become a seller of equipment? No.
Yeah, neither one of us are builders.
Yeah, no, we have to.
We don't have time.
But anyway, I should have one of the new pieces of equipment for the Creeper Gallery. So that should be cool to try that for the first time at the Creeper Gallery.
I'm looking forward to that.
And then the other piece of equipment is going to be really kind of out there when it comes. This thing is weird and I hope it works, but you never know. But I do appreciate it, Teresa, for thinking of us. You want to post the link one more time?
Absolutely. If anyone would like to come on. Kevin said that they might be moving, if everything stays good, that they might be moving to Pennsylvania from California.
I'm sure everybody here is interested in that. In case you guys are wondering,
I think that's great.
Kevin, if you don't know Kevin, he will be moving to Pennsylvania.
Hey, I just thought that was great.
I love it when she has her private shots here.
Hey, and Luann said that she's good with a paintbrush.
I would contribute too. Thank you.
She could paint your little, your NJ shirts on those little.
No, believe me. Equipment can be expensive, and especially when people break it. It's not fun.
Oh,
I've
had a lot of stuff.
We do a lot of events, and a lot of people drop stuff and kick stuff, and it's just like we're good enough to. And I know they don't mean it, but it's like that's not cheap. The thing you're dropping and kicking, so it's hard to replace that stuff. But anyway, so Creeper Gallery will be on Tuesday, and we're going to be up that way kind of all day.
Yeah,
and I'm legit fan now. I bought. Oh, you are a legit fan.
Oh, you did.
That merchandising too. If you do want any New Jersey paranormal stuff, that it says shop now right on our Facebook page. You can get a hat, t-shirt, sweatpants, hoodie. There's a lot of things.
And you're supporting a small business individual who owns that and who does that.
It's print on demand, print on demand. So I mean, we don't have a warehouse full of this stuff.
No,
we wish we did, but we don't. People always ask, why don't you sell at your events? And I'm like, because we don't have mugs. Mugs. I got a mug. I got my mug in there.
I don't know if he's doing the mugs anymore.
Oh, no mugs.
I don't know if he was doing the mugs
Maybe
anymore.
not. Yeah. Maybe that's what Kathy's saying.
Yeah.
But I'll be releasing some new dates soon, and I'm gonna book some more interviews coming up. I'm gonna get Shane to come back and reschedule his interview. But every now and then, one of those good ones just drop out of nowhere, like Dominique or a lot of them, Nancy Weber. I mean, they just kind of, and it's so weird when that happens because I can actively like seek out people to speak to, and not have any luck, and then, bam. Someone like Dominique comes along and a great person to talk to.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have John. I wonder if I can get John on before the event. I'll probably get him on after to talk about the event and how it went.
I think that would be more interesting.
That'd be kind of cool to wrap that whole thing up.
His impression and what he felt and how it went for him.
But I am telling Donna, this time I am picking my own 3 objects. I'm tired of being tied down with things I have to investigate. I need to investigate what speaks to me. That was the weird thing about going to the antique shops. We went to probably 3 of them in the last 2 weeks, and not one thing has jumped out at me as anything, really. And I want it to, because I'm like, where's that thing? Where's that object that's going to be kind of cool?
If you ever want to find out how much somebody truly, truly, truly loves you, is you go into an antique store and you buy something very unusual, and this person carries it out to you, and people are looking
right there. You just show
and
it to
saying stuff to him as he's carrying it.
Yeah, so, this is the weirdo. Look at that.
It's just a little kid's body with no head. John's walking down the street with his
I had a carry, and people are looking at me like, what do you got there? And I'm like,
oh, you don't want to know.
I get the grief for carry. Meanwhile, it's not even mine. I'm not even going to use it. No, John doesn't have a doll.
With no head.
What was that? Wednesday Adams that had the dolls with no head?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you what John bought.
That's not what it's going to be for, though.
I'll show you what John got.
But even when and again, it was upstairs somewhere, and he carried it down. John is such a gentleman when we go and do stuff, and he even carried and people were giving him grief when he was walking with it down the street. It was so funny. But even at the counter or buying it, the 3 people behind the counter, 2 men and a woman, to go, and what are you doing with this?
Yeah, exactly. This is what John got. That guy is cool as hell. Look at that. He's a cook. He's all burnt up. Right? That's John's style.
Well,
how cool is that?
You'll know what I'm going to do with that mannequin if you're coming to one of the VIP parties. How's that?
Now that's art. That's art.
That is art.
And that's class. Yeah, it probably was 80% off the naked headless doll that nobody wanted. All right, guys, we'll see you on Tuesday from the Creeper Gallery live, 7:30 with lots of good stuff.
Wait a minute. Go ahead. You could do your little monologue. They just said that they would have loved to have seen you carrying it. Well, your wish is. That's him walking down the street with it.
And how bad is it that I have to carry the thing, and then insult to injury, people are commenting,
he didn't have to,
and then somebody has to take a picture of it to even.
Are you kidding?
Now you're getting to see the inside of who really is the nice one and who's not so nice. Thank you. All right, guys, we'll see you Tuesday from the Creeper Gallery.
Take care, everybody. Good night.